Have you ever had a thought so sharp, so out of place, that you caught yourself holding it back, not out of fear, but because you knew no one else would understand? You see things others miss. You ask questions that silence the room. And the more you think, the more you feel alone. This isn't arrogance. It's not superiority. It's isolation by clarity. A quiet distance born not from pride, but from perception. But why does this happen? Why does deep thinking so often feel like a solitary road? In this video, we'll dive into the psychology, the neuroscience, and the ancient philosophy behind the hidden cost of intelligence. You'll discover why brilliant minds throughout history were misunderstood, why the search for truth is so often a lonely path. It's hearing the silence behind the noise, seeing the pattern behind the chaos, and what it really means to be a deep thinker in a world that celebrates simplicity. Small talk becomes intolerable. Entertainment feels hollow. You start to notice contradictions in people's words, in society's values, even in yourself. To understand the loneliness of deep thinkers, we have to start with something deceptively simple: awareness. Awareness isn't just noticing things. It's the ability to connect dots others don't even see. It's not because they're lazy, it's because the brain is built to conserve energy. But awareness comes with a cost. Okay? Most people live in what psychologists call cognitive ease. Okay? They follow routines, accept common narratives, and rarely question the foundation of their beliefs. Thinking deeply takes effort, and seeing clearly takes courage. The more aware you become, the less you can participate in superficial conversations. And suddenly, you're no longer just living in the world. You're observing it from a distance. Let's go deeper. Why does intelligence, of all traits, create tension in social spaces? The answer lies in identity. But when someone introduces a radically different perspective, especially a well-reasoned one, it doesn't just challenge our ideas, it challenges who we are. We define ourselves by our beliefs, our values, our understanding of the world. This is why people often feel uneasy around deep thinkers. Even when no judgment is present, the very existence of someone who sees more clearly can feel like a mirror one that reflects back their unexamined assumptions. It's called the mirror effect in psychology, and it's powerful. Think about it. If someone is taller than you, it doesn't make you question your worth. If someone is richer, it might stir envy but not shame. But when someone is intellectually ahead, it can spark something deeper: insecurity. Not because they did anything wrong, but because they highlight what we've avoided confronting. Let's truly grasp this dynamic. Why does intelligence of all traits evolutionary roots of social spaces? The ancestors survive in identity not through independent brilliance, but when someone introduces group cooperation, different perspective. In tribal life, a well-standing out one wasn't rewarded, just challenged our ideas. If you question the group too much, who we are, you risked exile. We define ourselves by our beliefs, our brains, our understanding of the world. Even today, this is wired to prioritize often feel uneasy over truth. Around deep thinkers, we crave acceptance, even when no judgment is present. The very existence in the group of someone who asks more difficult questions feel like a mirror one. The tribe reflects back their unexamined assumptions. They threaten the harmony of the whole. The mirror effect. The questioner is cynical, and it's a visionary as crazy. Think about it. Someone is taller than you, but it doesn't make you disruptive. Your worth. Their insights, if someone is rich, create friction. It might stir envy. Their ideas unsettle the emotional intellectually ahead of the group. It can spark something deeper. This is why deep thinkers are often pushed to the margins. Wrong. It's not about content highlight. It's about what we've avoided, confronting. Society, unconsciously deeper, creates a defense mechanism. Why does intelligence? It labels all thinkers as arrogant tension in social spaces. It's easier to dismiss the answer lies than to rebuild a worldview. But to truly grasp this dynamic, we must go back, way back to the evolutionary roots of human behavior. Our ancestors survived not through independent brilliance, but through group cooperation. In tribal life, standing out wasn't rewarded, was dangerous. If you questioned the group too much, you risked exile. Exile meant death. Our brains remember this. Even today, we are wired to prioritize belonging over truth. We crave acceptance. We fear exclusion. And when someone in the group begins asking difficult questions, when they challenge the tribe's beliefs, they threaten the harmony of the whole. The questioner as cynical, the visionary as crazy. Not because they're wrong, but because they're disruptive. Their insights create friction. Their ideas unsettle the emotional balance of the group. This is why deep thinkers are often pushed to the margins. It's not about content, it's about safety. Society unconsciously creates a defense mechanism. It labels the thinker as arrogant. It's easier to dismiss a person than to rebuild a worldview. Modern neuroscience reveals a shocking truth. When someone feels intellectually threatened, their brain lights up the same regions as if they were in physical danger. Specifically, the amygdala becomes highly active. This almond-shaped cluster governs our fight-or-flight response. In short, intelligence can trigger primal fear. Why? Because intelligence often introduces the unfamiliar, new information, new perspectives, new truths. And the brain, designed to keep us safe, sees the unfamiliar as a threat. When people are presented with complex or challenging ideas, their bodies exhibit signs of stress, increased heart rate, elevated cortisol, narrowed attention. This isn't just metaphorical, it's measurable. It's not that people hate deep thinkers. Their brains are simply trying to survive them. In today's society, there is a strange phenomenon. Confidence is more persuasive than truth. We are wired to trust people who speak with certainty. Even if their ideas are shallow or wrong, confidence convinces. Meanwhile, deep thinkers often speak in nuance. They question themselves. They acknowledge complexity. Social media amplifies this imbalance. It rewards the bold, not the wise, and that makes them seem less trustworthy to the average listener. This is why charismatic leaders with simplistic slogans often gain mass appeal, while thoughtful critics are ignored. The tragedy is clear. Those who think deeply are often drowned out by those who speak loudly. The 19th century philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer believed that the deeper one thinks, the more they suffer. To him, most people are driven by what he called the will to live, a primal desire for pleasure, security, and distraction. But a rare few are driven by the will to truth, the relentless need to understand reality, no matter how painful it may be. This distinction is profound. While the will to live seeks comfort, the will to truth often leads to disillusionment. They notice the emptiness in social rituals, the contradictions in cultural norms, the futility of endless ambition. Deep thinkers see through illusions. This insight, while enlightening, creates distance. It alienates them from those who still find meaning in those very things. And so the thinker walks alone, not because they reject others, but because they see too clearly to fully join in. The internet promised to connect us. For deep thinkers, it has often done the opposite. Emotional content spreads, outrage sells, simplicity wins. K's algorithms prioritize attention, not intention. These take time. They demand reflection. In a digital world built on speed, reflection is a liability. Philosophy, nuance, introspection. As a result, deep thinkers often struggle to gain traction. Their ideas are too complex for the feed. And wisdom, sadly, is not the main attraction. Too slow for the scroll, too real for the algorithm. The marketplace of ideas is now a carnival. So what can you do if you're a deep thinker in a shallow world? First, accept the solitude. It's not a punishment. It's a sign of your clarity. A book, a podcast, a painting. Let your ideas breathe outside your mind. Second, seek your tribe. They exist. May be rare, but there are others who crave meaning, depth, and truth. Find them. Build with them. Third, create. Turn your thoughts into something tangible. Finally, practice compassion. Not everyone is ready to see what you see, and that's okay. Meet people where they are, but don't stay there. Intelligence may isolate, awareness may weigh heavy. But in that burden lies a rare beauty, not as it pretends to be. That vision is a gift, a painful one, yes, but a gift nonetheless. You see the world as it is. Don't let the loneliness fool you into thinking you're broken. You are not. You are awake. And in a sleeping world, that is a rare thing indeed. So walk your path with courage. Seek truth without apology. And know this, if you feel alone in your thoughts, it's not because you're lost. It's because you're ahead.